Good afternoon. The Ranter is back to go into yet another rambling diatribe of the news of the day. I actually recorded this earlier, or tried recording this earlier, then had this whole impassioned scree upon the events of what happened in Minneapolis yesterday and the death of Renee Nicole Good at the hands of the ICE agent. And the subsequent behavior of our government over it. But had some technical issues, so I wasn't able to put it out, or you would have to read lips because the audio wasn't working. So, we'll try this again. As horrific as it is that Renee had died, that she was shot in the face and killed yesterday, the behavior of our government under the Trump administration towards this event is as bad as her death. When this event first came upon us, and she died, the official statement, the first official statement that came out from DHS was that the ICE agents were trying to push her car out of the snow, and she attacked them with her car. So the first statement of this woman's death was a lie. And then came the implications that, she was a domestic terrorist, that she was weaponizing her car to run over the ICE agents. Trump put out a Truth Social that the ICE agent was run down, or she was trying to run him down, and he was seriously injured. He had to go to the hospital. It seemed evident when the New York Times was having an interview with him that he didn't really see the video. And so when he was compelled to see the video in front of them, he kind of changed his tune. He kind of flagged. He just got hesitant and stuttered a bit. But still tried to keep, on point that, somehow her death was, all because of Biden. Because we have to deflect away from what's going on with his own policies here. We find out that local police have been shut out of the investigation. That only FBI is going to investigate. So the citizen of Minneapolis will not have the investigation of her death being done by locals, but by the Kash Patel FBI. Okay, I'm sure the truth will even out here. J.D. Vance crawled out of his from under his rock that he's been hiding lately to do his press conference where he pretty much lost his shit and bashed the media for their coverage of this, proclaimed that she was a domestic terrorist, that she was part of a vast left-wing conspiracy. Excuse me, my voice. This vast network that trying to liken it to her with someone throwing a brick at an ICE agent. Well, who paid for the brick? She's been called a domestic terrorist, a professional agitator. Kristi Noem says that she stalked the ICE agents. Here's what we know. Renee Nicole Good, upon the events of the video, was parked in the middle of the road, partially obstructing the road. Partially, not fully. She didn't move her car when in the path of the ICE agents. She was parked. On the events of the video, we actually do see a car speed around her, and go about their day. She wasn't obstructing them. Which gives rise to the more than likely assumption that the ICE agents just went. None of this would happen. But no. Her parked partially in the middle of the road, partially obstructing the grand fleet convoy of ICE vehicles, was a direct defiance and violation and domestic terrorism. So they had to go and engage with her. They told her to leave. They told her to get the fuck out. They swarmed around her. She then, and you can see this in the video, she then backs up. You can see where the wheels are turning. And as she's backing up, she's turning to speed away. At this point, they're trying to get her out of the car. One of the ICE agents, which was front by the bumper, he kind of gets bumped a little bit. To which he loses his shit, pulls out his gun, goes for her car door, and then points his gun into the open window and shoots her. She speeds away with her foot on the gas, shot in the face, speeds about 100 feet down the road and crashes into a ditch against another car. According to the Trump social message, this ICE agent, this brave ICE agent who, as Kristi Noem will say, was just defending himself, was defending himself. She was attacking with her car. This heavily wounded and damaged American hero here was walking back and forth, up and down the road. Walked towards the car that was now in the ditch, and then walked back to his own car and got in, and he's away. He must have stubbed his toe. That was probably his, devastating injury of this life or death situation he was in. What we know of this woman: she's the mother of a young boy. She's a spouse. Her partner was in the car. She has stuffed animals in her glove compartment. People say that she was kind. She was a good person. So far, we haven't heard her being an advocate for anything, but, if the FBI is involved now under this particular regime of the presidency, I'm sure we will hear, how she is just a, sleeper agent for Antifa. You can turn on the egg timers before we start hearing the phrase Antifa come up. She is dead 24 hours, and they're already smearing her. Smeared her on Fox News with Jesse Waters, the guy with a punchable face. Kristi Noem smears her. Donald Trump smears her. Former AG Burr laments as why are people keep demonizing the ICE agents? They shouldn't be demonizing the ICE agents. J.D. Vance maligns her. They talk about how the ICE agent was following procedure. What procedure? How trained was he or any of these people in their procedures? As horrific as the circumstances of her death is, it is also, unfortunately, not a surprise. We have seen a gradual escalation in the violent response and interactions between ICE agents and not only the people that they throw out their dragnet to detain, but those who protest their actions and essentially get in their way, from slamming people down onto the ground to pulling them out of their cars and slamming them into the ground, to breaking into cars, smashing windows, committing acts of violence. You keep on that same path, and it will lead to fatalities. And this is not the first fatality. This is probably the first fatality we've seen on camera on the street. But as of last year, we have seen at least 30 people die in ICE custody. It takes a certain kind of person to volunteer to do this kind of work. It is galling of how you can imagine what a person would be thinking or going through, or what they've been taught, or what they've been conditioned to in order to do the things they do with callous disregard and have no emotion after they've done it. There was a dedication to Renee Nicole Good outside of one of these ICE facilities, stations, whatever. And one of these ICE agents destroys the dedication in front of protesters, telling them to back the fuck off, that he doesn't care, he doesn't give a fuck, and walks away. With the pride in doing so, with a job well done. What type of person? I mean, what's the criteria in becoming with this type of ICE agent? This type of person. That your morality is so negotiable. The official line is that they're supposed to be going after the worst of the worst. But they seem to be rather indiscriminate. And since the worst of the worst of undocumented people don't glow in the dark, they don't seem to be all that picky on who they pick up. As long as they're different skin pigmentation, that seems to be a clue. Or if they have tattoos, that also seems to be a clue. I mean, this would be hours long of a video if I went through every incident that ICE has done in their efforts of racking up that quota in incarcerations and detentions of people who were not documented, from taking them off the streets, taking them off stereotypically out of the parking lots of Home Depots or their places of business, to going to the courthouses when they're trying to lawfully continue the process to become lawful citizens. They grab them out of the courtrooms. These people are doing the right thing, and yet you grab them out because we're going to make that quota. And once they're grabbed, once they're detained, they don't give a shit about their condition, because that requires responsibility and accountability and giving a shit about consequences and ramifications, which, as the model is this Trump administration, they don't care about that. They don't care about, let's say, paperwork. They don't care about where they send these people. They don't care about the conditions of these people once they're there. They are thrown away. They don't want to hear about them. They don't want to know what happens to them because it doesn't matter. That's why the court case, or the case of Mr. Garcia, Kilmar Garcia, is so ridiculous. Because all they just wanted to do was throw him away. Sure, they mistakenly deported him, but what does it matter? Why does it matter? Oh, but he's an MS-13 member. No, he's a leader of MS-13. He was trafficking people. No proof of any of this. But don't bring him back. No, he's not supposed to come back. He doesn't deserve. No, he's back. Oh. In the same simplistic, childlike way that I discussed in the last video upon this administration acting without nuance, without adult consciousness of consequences and responsibilities and ramifications. They don't want to justify anything. They don't want to explain themselves. They just want to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. If it's not ICE agents, being the paramilitary arm of this administration, to do the bidding of this administration, to go after those people in order to fill out a quota and punish anyone in their way. Now up to the point of murder. Then it's our foreign policy. Then it's Venezuela, which, as of today, the Senate has voted against the president doing any further actions in Venezuela. Let's see how long that sticks. Because I'll mention a little bit about that, because this is really about Miss Good, but in the same line of them just wanting to do without consequence, without worry, without ramifications. Venezuela, when they took Maduro and attacked Caracas, where we're now hearing the numbers of the people that actually died. We seem to forget that part. They didn't realize, or they didn't care, that would destabilize the country a little bit. That a country that is filled with not only an opposition force to this government of Maduro's that wasn't technically legally elected, that the Maduro regime, which is still intact under the vice president, who Trump is dealing with more than the opposition leader, because the opposition leader had the dreadful sin of being the actual winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. The Maduro regime is now punishing the people that were cheering Maduro's capture. His kidnapping. Oh, we're not supposed to say kidnapping. Shh, capture. Not kidnapping. No. So now, whatever stability that was there days before is now gone. And instability is now the order of the day in Venezuela. Because they just wanted to do, as Trump wanted to do, like this incident with Ms. Good, was another lie. Every step of the way was lying. We're attacking the ships because, they have drugs. No, there's no evidence of it either one way or the other. But these little ships were totally going to be capable of getting to the American shores to fill them with drugs. No, these ships were not. Some of these ships weren't capable of even reaching it. Because if anyone actually, looked at a map, they would see the route that would have to go around to get to at least Florida, which was somewhere about 1,500 miles in ships that looked like they're fishing boats. And some of these ships weren't even going in that direction. But lie after lie after lie in that situation, lie after lie after lie upon us. We have to take Greenland. We have to take Greenland. We have to have it. Why? Because there's Russian and Chinese vessels swarming all over, and it's for our national security. Oh, what? We don't like Uncle Vlad anymore? Trump? No, but we have to take it. We have to take Greenland. This has to be ours in order for our national security. Why? We already have U.S. bases in Greenland. You can actually have more bases there. We can actually have a military presence in Greenland to help defend our national security. That's allowable. Greenland is okay with that. Denmark is okay with that. You don't have to own Greenland for that to happen. We have military bases all over the world. Is this simplistic, childlike thinking, meaning that all those military bases means that we should own all those countries they happen to be in? We're getting off on a tangent. Of course, it's a rant. But the basic premise is still the same, regardless of the actual policy issue. It's the lies. They are lying to you as to the circumstances of the death of Miss Good. From the official statement, from the first official statement, they lied. Subsequent statements, they continue to lie. Because now they have to defend themselves. They have to defend this poor widow ICE agent who also has a history from last year of having an incident similar to this. At least that by then no one died. It seems to be the criteria of this training that ICE officials have is that as long as you're willing, that's enough. As long as you're willing to do whatever we want you to do, that's it. You get promoted that way. We've seen videos of how ICE agents lose their shit whenever they're being protested. Or they're getting into arguments and saying that, if they're being recorded, that's illegal. That's not illegal. They don't have professional decorum. These agents who get into the face of people. And from the various activities of them that is violent. They even go out of their way. If you have protesters, there's one incident. They had protesters on the line. They're not crossing the line. They're staying right here, protesting, where they legally can be to protest. An ICE agent tries to grab one of these protesters to bring them over so they can arrest them. Because they can't arrest them over there. But if they step over here, oh well. That was attempted. They don't want to be questioned. They don't want details, like Venezuela, like when it's asked, why are you attacking these ships? I don't have to give you the details, says Donald Trump. They don't have to give you the details, says ICE, to why they are going after in a big dragnet. The fraud case in Minnesota, that they're focusing their laser focus on Somalis involved in it. This fraud case that has been active since the Biden administration, that there has been arrests and prosecutions of, that we're going to forget because, Biden bad and he didn't do anything. Yeah. Just because there's Somalis involved in it is enough for all the population of the Somalian Americans. All of them. All of them have to be involved. All of them. Everywhere. Which is why it was this big crackdown of 2,000 ICE agents going into Minnesota. Yeah. Gave us the reason. Gave us the pretext for our tyranny. Do whatever it takes. Do the show of force. Strike fear in the hearts of these people that stand against you in this righteous act of pulling people out of their homes. They're going to confirm that they're going to go door to door to get their quota. To get these people out, these garbage people, as Trump would call them, these people from shithole countries that he's confirmed to say now since he said it. Renee Nicole Good did not need to die. Could she have been arrested for partially blocking the road? Sure. Could they have de-escalated the situation and arrested her? Sure. Because there is evidence that a car was able to go around her, that she wasn't blocking the intersection completely from that direction, could the ICE agents simply drove around her? Yes. Could they have followed actual procedure of the actual process of this, where when the car is speeding away, do not obstruct it, let it go, get its license plate, and then get it because that is the safest way of doing this? Yes, they should have done that. There is no reason why she died. And now this ICE agent that killed her is going to get protected from on high. They're not allowing locals to investigate this. Only if this is a federal matter now. So a compromised FBI will be conducting the investigations, and I'm sure will paint her as some sort of, Antifa sleeper agent that was looking to hunt down and destroy ICE agents with her car. This is the state of our country now. And as much as it's infuriating, I can understand Governor Walz's plea to people to temper their rage. Protest, absolutely, but to protest peacefully. Do not give them a reason to take it to the next level, because they want to. They want to. They want there to be a reason to conduct martial law. They want a reason to put military boots on the ground of American cities. They want that show of force because in their simplistic childlike mind, it's like, oh well, this is how we accomplish things. They want to be able to hurt Americans if those Americans oppose their positions. They want us to be cowled, to fall in line, just accept what is going to happen. Go along. Just let it happen, baby. And on that phrasing, I wonder what's really in those Epstein files that we are now, going to war, or was going to go to war in Venezuela, and was going to conduct military actions to try to gain Greenland. Maybe all our options are open. I wonder if there's some evidence in there that Trump told a young girl, just let it happen, baby. Which is why we're in this situation to keep the Epstein files off of page 1. So we don't notice that the DOJ has again blown past the second deadline to explain themselves why the Epstein files was so redacted, why the names of politicians were being hidden. There's already started, but a reminder. Before she truly becomes a martyr for the cause, or a political football, or a symbol of derision and insult by those who favor the activities of ICE, like on Fox News with Jesse Waters. Renee Nicole Good was a kind and generous woman. She was a spouse. She was a mother. And she did not deserve to die. She was killed. And it was not self-defense. And sad to say, I doubt she will be the last. And a final message to all this. For those of us who are inclined to protest, always have your phone on you. Always have your phone. Always have access to communication wherever you are. Go with groups. Be amongst people who have their own phones. Is one of the things that damns this whole situation with the official statements of DHS and Trump and Ice Barbie Christy Gnomes, is that there were videos in multiple angles and witnesses to this event that killed this woman. Have your phones on you. Have access to the social media where you can post this. These phones with the capabilities of these phones in a peaceful protest is our weapons, is our shields, it's our protection, it's our defense. It is defense of yourself, it's a defense of your neighbor, for those who are around you. Any event, have your phone ready. Take pictures, take audio, take videos, and do it from all angles. Let there be no doubt. And if they come to confiscate your phone, make sure your neighbor has a phone right there. Post or live stream. Get it out there. Because you never know if your recordings, if you're witnessing, could be the actual factual evidence of the truth of the situation as opposed to the official statement. What you have in your hands could, in times gone by, in the future, could be the only evidence of what really happened, the only facts in this world of propaganda and AI manipulations and doctoring and edits of video, of audio, of still shots. Your pictures, your audio recordings, your video recordings could stand as evidence, as a testament to this time that America is embroiled in. Be the American citizens that tells those around us who are not there what really happened. Not only for the sake of the undocumented who are not violent, who don't commit a crime, but for your own American citizen neighbors, regardless of skin pigmentation, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, regardless of religious belief or non-religious belief, regardless of social status or creed. Protect yourself. Protect your neighbors. The ranter rants, because the urge to rant is always rising. See you in the next atrocity.